أعزائي طلبة وطالبات شهادة الثانوية العامة قسم رياضيات لغات، سلام الله عليكم ورحمته وبركاته. اليوم سنتناول مراجعة عامة على مادة الجبرا اند سوليد جيومتري. طبعا مراجعة عامة وهي قبل مراجعة ليلة الامتحان مهمة جدا جدا انك انت بتعمل سمري للرولز كلها بتكتبها طبعا في البوك اللي انت مسموح بكتاب المدرسة انك تدخل بيه. مهم جدا تركز على الرولز بتاع كومبلكس نمبر في يونت 2 ويونت 1 كاونتنج برنسبل. طبعا كاونتنج برنسبل مهمه جدا، ولكن هي بتحتاجش انك تبذل فيها مجهود كبير جدا، لان في حاجات اهم منها كتير جدا زي مثلا determinant وماتريسز كومبلكس نمبر وبينوميال ثيرم. دي رولز زي how to find tr plus 1 free term. دي كل القوانين دي كلها المفروض انت تعمل سمري او درافت او في ورقه فاضيه تجمع الرولز كلها قبل ما تخش الامتحان في السكول باك. My dear student, today we are taking general revision about solid geometry and algebra. Solid geometry and algebra very important to review about algebra and solid geometry by using multi-choice. My dear student, look at the first example about multi-choice. The first example, NCR plus 2 NCR minus 1 plus NCR minus 2 equals what? Choose the correct answer. N plus 1 CR, N plus 2 CR, N plus 1 CR plus 1, or N plus 2 CR plus 2. Before we choose the correct answer, remember, my dear student, look at NCR plus 2 NCR minus 1. We separated 2 into two terms, NCR minus 1 plus NCR minus 1. Why? Because, my dear student, we have rule NCR plus NCR minus 1 equal N plus 1 CR. Look at, my dear student, the first and second term N plus 1 CR. The third term and fourth term N plus 1 CR minus 1. This rule. Then N plus 1 CR plus N plus 1 CR minus 1 equal what? Excellent student, N plus 2 CR. We choose the correct answer. Then what is the correct answer? N plus 2 CR. Translate to another example. A college student at the first stage studies 7 subjects and it is not allowed to move on the next stage unless he succeeds in at least 5 of them. What is required? Then the number of ways can student move on to the next stage is 27, 28, 29, 25. Remember, my dear student, we have a college student at the first stage, studies 7 subjects, and it is not allowed to move on the next stage unless he succeeds in at least 5 of them. 5 at least. Then number of ways. Look at the solution. Maybe 75 plus or means plus 7C6 plus 7C7. Why? At least 5. To succeed to the second stage, he exceeds at least 5 subjects from 7. Then the correct answer is 7C5 plus 7C6 plus 7C7. Remember, 7C7 equal what? Equal 1. 7C5 equal 7C2. Also 7c6 equals 7c1, or by using calculator, the correct answer, my dear student, is 29 by using calculator. Another example. Coefficient of x is 3, x power 3 in expansion. 1 minus x plus x squared is 30, 20, negative 30, negative 20. My dear student, we have bracket or expansion, but has 3 terms. 1 minus x plus x squared. But this rule, binomial theorem, has 2 terms only. If we take x common from x squared negative x, then the bracket equals 1 plus x multiply x minus 1. Or the main idea, to form bracket contains 2 terms only. Look at the solution. We taking x common factor, then expansion is 1 plus x multiply x minus 1 inside bracket for all power 5. Therefore, in this case, 5c0 in expansion plus 5c1 x multiply x minus 1 power 1, 5c2 x squared x minus 1 for all power 2 plus 5c3 x 3 x minus 1 power 3. Then the answer is negative 2 5c2 negative 5c3. We know that 5c3 equal 5c2. Okay, then negative 2 5c3 by using calculator, the correct answer, my dear student, negative 3. Why? Because negative 2 5c2 minus 5c3 is 5c2, or negative 3 5c2 negative 3 times 10 equal negative 30. Another example. In expansion, 1 minus x for all power 8 plus 24x multiply bracket 1 minus x for all power 7 plus 252x squared multiply bracket contains 1 minus x for all power 6 and so on to 6,561 x power 8. The numerical value of the sixth term when x equals 1 equal what? 2 power 8, 4 power 8, 3 power 8, 5 power 8. My dear student, look at expansion must be equal what? 1 minus x inside bracket plus 3x for all power 8. Look at, my dear student, from expansion 1 minus x plus 3x equals 1 plus 2x for all power 8. Then, my dear student, both x equals 1. Value equals what? 3 power 8. Why? 1 plus 2 equals 3 for all power 8. Then the correct answer is 3 power 8. Another example. An expansion of 3a minus 2b for all power 11. If the ratio between two middle terms respectively equals negative 3 over 2. What is the value a over b? Is 9 over 4, 4 over 9, 1, negative 1. Remember, my dear student, in expansion 3a minus 2b for all power 11. For all power 11. How many terms? X and student, 12 terms. Why? Because n equals 11. We add 1. 11 plus 1 equals 12. Then the ratio between two middles. What is the two middles? If we have 12 terms, then two middle terms or order of two middle terms T6, T7. Why? 12 over 2 equals order of two terms 12 over 2 and 12 over 2 plus 1 T6, T7. Then what you mean ratio between two middles? T7, T6 or T6 over T7. Look at, my dear student, before we choose the correct answer, T7 over T6 equal negative 2 over 3. What is the value of T, this rule? T7 over T6, n minus 6 plus 1 over 6, multiply second term over first term, equals negative 2 over 3. 11 minus 6 plus 1 over 6 times negative 2b over 3a equals negative 2 over 3. Therefore, by using cross multiplication, then the value or correct answer 4 over 9. The conjugate of the number omega plus I equals what? Omega minus I, omega square minus I, omega power 2 plus 1, negative omega, negative I. My dear student, omega, this is root of unity. We know that the roots of unity, omega square 1. And we know 1 plus omega square equals 0. Then, what you mean conjugate of number? Before we solve it, my dear student, remember, conjugate, what you mean conjugate? What you mean conjugate? Yes, change the imaginary. But in this case, look at omega equals what? Negative half plus root 3 over 2i plus I. In this case, we change the sign of imagine. Conjugate mean change the imaginary part. Conjugate as we change the positive to negative in imagine, then the correct answer is omega square minus I. Why? Omega square minus I is negative half negative root 3i. Another example. If the middle term of extension x plus y for all power 8n, the ninth term, then n equals what? Remember, my dear student, the middle term of ninth term, then n equals what? 1, 2, 3, or 4. What you mean? Middle term, it's ninth term, T9. T9 is middle term. Before it 8 terms, after that 8 terms, then 8n, 8 plus 8 equals what? Equals 16 plus 8n over 2 plus 1 must be equals 9. 8n. Why? Because this even 8n over 2 plus 1 equals 9. 8n over 2 equals 8. By using cross multiplication, what is the value of n? It must be equals 2. Then the correct answer is 2, because 8n over 2 equals 8, then n equals 2. Look at bracket contains a plus b omega plus a omega square multiply another bracket a plus b omega square plus a omega power 4 equals what? 1 a minus b for all power 2 b square minus a square. Remember, my dear student, the first bracket contains 3 terms, a plus b omega plus a omega square. We can take a common factor from the first and the third term of the first bracket. A plus a omega square equals a multiply 1 plus omega square. 1 plus omega square negative omega. The first negative a omega plus b omega. Look at, my dear student, in the second bracket. We take a common factor from a and a omega power 4. Remember, omega power 4 equals what? Equal omega. Omega power 4 equal omega power 3 times omega. Omega power 3 equals 1. Then a omega power 4 is a omega. By taking common factor between a and 4 and a omega, then a multiply 1 plus omega. 1 plus omega equal negative omega square. Equal negative omega square. Remember, my dear student, before we choose the correct answer, look at the 2 brackets became negative a omega plus b omega multiply negative a omega square plus b omega square. By using multiplication, then the correct answer b minus a for all power 2. What you mean? b minus a equals b minus a for all power 2 or a minus b for all power 2. This is the same correct answer. Look at, my dear student, if we have z equal x plus iy, then the real part of the number e power z equals cosine y, e power x cosine y, e power x sine y, I e power x. My dear student, e power x plus iy means e power x multiply e power iy. We separated e power x plus iy 2 terms, e power x times e power iy. If we multiply e power x times e power iy equals, we add the power, e power x plus iy. Then we can separate it, e power x plus iy 2 terms by using multiply e power iy equal cosine y plus I sine yr. Therefore, my dear student, the correct answer is number 2, e power x cosine y. Quadratic equation whose roots are 1 over 1 plus omega and 1 over 1 plus omega square is. Choose the correct answer. X square minus x plus 1 equals 0. X square minus x minus 1 equals 0. X square plus x plus 1 equals 0. Or x square minus x equals 0. My dear student, what you mean quadratic function? Quadratic, its function or quadratic equation has second degree. What is the rule? X square minus sum of 2 roots multiply x plus product of 2 roots equals 0. We have 2 roots. By using omega, 1 plus omega, don't forget, my dear student, 1 plus omega equals negative omega square. 1 plus omega square equals negative omega. Omega plus omega square equals negative 1. But omega minus omega square equal positive or negative root 3i. This important roots of unity. 1 plus omega square equals 1. The required, my dear student, in this example, how to form or choose the correct answer. The quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is form x square minus sum of two roots multiply x plus product of two roots equal 0. Then the first find the summation of two roots and product of two roots, then by substitution about form or formula of quadratic equation. My dear student, look at the solution. Look at, my dear student, this example, f a plus omega for all power 7 equals a plus b omega. Find a, b in ordered pair. Choose the correct answer. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, negative 1. Remember, my dear student, 1 plus omega means negative omega square. Negative omega power 2 equals 7, but for all power 7 equal negative omega for all power 14 or omega power 14. Omega power 14 equals what? Equals omega power 12 times omega power 2. Omega power 12 equals 1. This is omega power 2. Look at, my dear student, solution. 1 plus omega power for all power 7 equal negative omega square for all power 7. Negative omega power 14 equal negative omega square. Why? Because omega power 14 equal omega power 12 times omega power 2. Omega power 12 must be equals 1. Family of omega power 3. Therefore, negative omega square equals 1 plus omega. Therefore, the correct answer, what is the A and B? 1, 1. Then the correct answer, the first part is 1, second part is 1. F1 plus omega square for all power 7 equals A plus B omega square. Find A, B. 1 plus omega square equal what? Excellent. Negative omega power 7. Choose the correct answer. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, negative 1. Look at 1 plus omega square equal negative omega. Negative omega power 7 equals negative omega. Why? Because omega power 7, omega power 6 times omega power 1. Negative omega equal 1 plus omega square. Then the correct answer also equal what? 1, 1. Why? Because 1 plus omega square for all power 7 equal 1 plus omega square. The first part is 1, second part or A is 1, B is 1, then the correct answer 1, 1. And A and B belongs R square. We have two vectors. If A and B belongs to R square, then A cross B norm power 2 plus norm B square. Look at solution. The first norm A square, norm B square, sine square theta plus norm A square, norm B square, cosine square theta by taking A square, norm A square, norm B square, highest common factor, then therefore the correct answer is norm A square, norm B square, number 4. Look at surface area of a sphere whose equation x square plus y square plus z square minus 2x plus equal 3 is 8 by 4 by 16 by 3 by. My dear student, surface area of a sphere. What do you mean surface area of a sphere? 4 pi r square. What is the r? R is radius. What is the radius? If we find the radius, we find the center. What is the center of a sphere? Center of a sphere, negative 2 over negative 1, 1, 0, 0. Then 1, 0, 0, this is the center of a sphere. By using the rule of radius length equals square root L squared plus M squared plus N squared minus D. What is the D? Negative 3. Negative 3 means negative 3 equals positive 3. Look at, my dear student, if we have C equal negative 1, 0, 0, R equals 2, area equal 4 pi. Then the correct answer is 4 pi. Is 4 pi. My dear student, by the end of general revision, we know that center of a sphere must be equals negative half coefficient x, negative half coefficient y, negative half coefficient z. And we know that the radius of a sphere equals square root L squared plus M squared plus N squared minus D. What is the value of D? Is the constant. Then, my dear student, we have equation of a sphere x squared plus y squared plus z squared plus 2mx plus 2nz plus 2ky plus d equals 0. Remember, my dear student, we have two equations of a sphere, x minus L for all power 2 plus y minus n for all power 2 plus z minus k for all power 2 equals r power 2. This is called standard equation of a sphere. But general equation of a sphere must x squared, coefficient of x squared, equal coefficient of y squared equals coefficient of z squared equals 1. Remember, equation of a sphere doesn't find xy or yz or xz. Equation of a sphere is very important to find it in any exam. My dear student, by the end of the lesson, I am very happy to spend such time with you. Thank you.